stay connected with us by texting NOLA Ready, one word, to 77295. You'll get those weather alerts and warnings as we put them out. We really just want people to really limit their movement as much as possible. And you know, if there is anything that we can look at from a positive way in this, is that this will be overnight. Most people will be in their homes. You're going to be safe in your homes with this type of event. And just really the most dangerous part will be if you're out on the roadways or outside. Now, what I will say is we do have Bayou Boogaloo this weekend, and I should have mentioned it. We were in contact with them last night. They kept down some of the tents and things that they were working on in anticipation of these winds, particularly once the tornado watch came out earlier in the evening. And they did sustain some damage, minor damage to some of the lighter type pop-up tents. But I know that they were not anticipating any issues with opening on schedule. So, you know, there will be an event this weekend, special event. Again, I think people should use their judgment, but for the most part, this should be gone tomorrow by, you know, I've seen anywhere from 10 a.m. to about 1 p.m. And after that, we're going to have pretty clear skies and warmer weather for the rest, probably for the rest of the week. And so I think that just taking a lot of caution tonight, particularly from, you know, about 7 o'clock on, I think is the best thing you can do, and just stay weather aware and pay attention to whatever types of messaging you're getting, either from your local media, from us, or from the Weather Service.
I know the past two events, we've sort of been lucky as far as we haven't really had any significant flooding throughout the city. Is that a concern going into tomorrow morning, that the city could potentially see some flooding because we have had some water? And also, I know Mayor Cantrell's still out of town. Have you all had communication with her, and if so, what has that been?
Constantly, usually by text, sometimes by phone. We've talked. I've talked with the entire public safety team as well. Always concerned about flooding. Even last night, when it looked more like wind, you know, you're always concerned about flooding. In this job in the city of New Orleans, and I'm concerned about that tonight as well. I think it shows kind of the difficulty in trying to look at these weather systems and predict what they're going to do. Every situation's different. Last night, I think that the speed of this system moving through is what prevented us from having the street flooding and torrential rain type issues. However, if you take the same system, slow it down, turn it a little bit, and it starts just kind of regenerating over itself over you, you see what we had, you know, just weeks ago. You know, so those are the things we're always really trying to pay attention to, and what we want to communicate with Sewage and Water Board, and I have a pretty direct line with Steve Nelson over there. You know, we frequently talk about neutral ground parking restrictions. We talk about what their status is as far as power, and it's definitely, you know, something that we are concerned about with every rain event.
Of course, with the news of the RVs flipping, a lot of mobile home residents, I'm sure, are going to be pretty concerned with this storm and the news of heavy winds. Is there any preparations for them that they should know of, such as maybe shelters that y'all have open, you know, any preparations that y'all have made?
We'll have a facility on standby. At this time, we don't have plans on opening a shelter. I think that the people that are in the trailers that we know about, and particularly, I did not hear of any trailer issues. I did hear of an issue of an RV last night, a recreational vehicle. If you're in a recreational vehicle, you may want to, just take extra caution tonight, particularly overnight, with where you park, and whether or not you want to be in that vehicle overnight. And so I think that's I think that just using caution and common sense is probably the best thing. But having said that, if we receive any calls of people needing assistance or anything like that, we can work to open up a facility to assist them if necessary.
Just one more question. In terms of the biggest concerns moving into tonight, obviously, from yesterday, y'all have a basic understanding of what y'all need to look at for the most. What is it that y'all find, is the biggest concern and what y'all need to really focus on for tonight?
My biggest concern, one, is flooding, and two would be power. And I did fail to mention, we had good communication with Entergy New Orleans, as we always do. At the height of this last night, we had about 3,000 without power. The last I checked, just before I came down here, it was around 500. And those were anticipated to be restored by 6 p.m. this evening. My concern is power. In a lot of these cases, particularly with the winds, you have a lot of people that are dependent on power. Power runs our lives. You see what happened west of us in Jefferson Parish. Obviously, they had some significant power challenges, as well as the North Shore. And then, my goodness, you look at Houston this morning, and they wake up with almost 1 million people without power. And that's just, kind of brings back Ida memories about power. And so, trying to, communicate and coordinate with our power utility providers, as well as the Sewage and Water Board, is something that we really value, and something that that's what gives us the concern, I think, universally, is street flooding, and power issues.
Since WGNO started the second round question.
Honestly, I think I'm good.
Okay,
So,
sure.
You said that turbine 6 is limited, I think was the word that you used. Can you explain what?
You can. I think I'd prefer that you spoke to Sewage and Water Board for the technical details about it. But I know that it's available for use, but they're kind of limiting its use right now just because of an issue. But it is available.
Actually, I
Go
did think
ahead,
of
go ahead,
one
Chris.
quick follow-up. For the facilities that you mentioned that sustained damage, are they still usable at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You said something about one of those facilities being a crime.
The Real-Time Crime Center had an air conditioning issue, and to be honest, I wasn't able to follow up with them right before I came down here. That was this morning. I have not heard from them today, which typically when buildings are warm, you get phone calls, and so that may have been resolved. Like I said, our property management director relayed to me that a lot of times it's simply when there's, maybe when power goes on and off and flickers on and off, that sometimes they just have to go in and flip a switch, and it can restore those systems. Sometimes it's a little bit more than that. I think with the 7th District Police Station, there was, some roof damage that they were concerned about, but we'll find out more about that.
any last follow-up?
Were y'all able to tarp that roof?
Yeah, they had contractors out there this morning addressing it, so.
Shay, Sophie? You okay? Great. So
All
that
right.
concludes our
Thanks,
questions.
everybody.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much
it.
for coming. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any additional questions.
I'm Rick, by the way, I'm with WGNO.